Hey everybody, it is Monday and it's time for Monday Morning Leftovers. This is episode 11 of our series where we try to bring you everything we could have, should have, and would have said on Sunday morning, but for whatever reason we didn't get a chance to. So yesterday I preached a message from the Gospel of Luke on the parable of the master and his servant, and one of the statements, the application statements that I made was that Jesus shows us in this parable that the work of a servant, the work of a disciple, is never finished. If you're not familiar with the story, Jesus told a story to his followers about a servant who had spent all day working really hard in the field, plowing, feeding the animals, and he was tired. And when he came in for the afternoon, he wasn't able to sit down and take a break. The master told him he needed to put on his apron and prepare the master's meal, and only then, after doing all of that, could the servant feed himself. So we see that Jesus was trying to show us the work of a servant is never finished. Now, the nature of what you and I do for Jesus, the nature of the assignments that he gives us, that might change. In fact, it will change. Sometimes from hour to hour, day to day, and season to season, the specific things that we're making ourselves busy with for God change. But an image came into my mind that I wanted to use as an illustration yesterday that I didn't get a chance to, and here it is. This past Saturday morning, I got together for breakfast with three of my Pauls, three of the elders from our church, and we went to Sunshine Grill and we sat down, and this young lady was our waitress, and she was high energy and very attentive and very polite, and we were so engaged in the conversation that she kept coming back to see when we would be ready to order. And then finally she noticed we had all picked up our menu. We were scanning over everything, trying to make a good choice about what we wanted to eat, and she came back to the table and she got her notepad and her pen, and she stood there silently waiting for one of us to make the first move and make the first order. And her approach to her job that day really ties into the approach I see Jesus calling us to in this particular parable. This idea of a person who is serving another person, shutting out all their other distractions, completely getting their ears and their eyes and their thoughts focused on the person that they're going to serve, pen and paper in hand, ready to take orders from the people who are there expressing their desire. And what do I think that God's saying to you and to me? Sometimes the work of being a Christian is waiting on God. I don't mean waiting in the sense of when you're driving around 695 and all the brake lights come out and your car comes to a complete stop and you're stuck 3 exits from home, not going anywhere in traffic, and you're just waiting for traffic to break loose so you can move. That's not the kind of waiting that I mean, where you have an agenda in your mind and you're waiting for God to catch up. That's not what we're talking about. This kind of waiting is what we're talking about, like that young lady did at the table at breakfast. She completely dialed in her focus on us, and she waited for us to decide what was really in our heart and to speak it out. And she was simply there to carry out that order as it was, that desire as it was, and bring to us the things that we really wanted to have for breakfast. I feel God calling me personally right now that my work, maybe for the next few days, I feel him drawing me into an intense period of waiting on him. And I feel like God is going to reveal to me something for my life and for our church. He's scanned over the menu. He knows exactly what it is that he wants to speak out. And I'm not going back to the kitchen and bringing all kinds of things to the table saying, God, is this what you want? Is that what you want? Is this what you want? I feel God calling to me that my work right now is to stop trying and wait on him. And so to do that, I am going to be entering into just an intense season of listening, of prayer, of detoxing my ears and my eyes and my heart from any distractions in my thoughts or the things I'm listening to, the things I'm watching and reading, and really make sure I'm dialed in on him. The most important question for all of us who follow Jesus is this: what work has Jesus assigned for you to do today? And are you doing it? Do you know what assignment is in front of you right now? And are you busy doing it? Because the reality is, as long as you're breathing, your work is unfinished. I hope maybe God is also speaking to some of you, if you've watched this far into the video, about being stirred into a season of waiting on God. He is getting ready to speak to me, to you, to our church, and to speak over this community. But I worry sometimes if we're too busy to hear him when he's trying to speak. So can I invite you into a waiting season with me, where we wait on God, where we don't keep bringing him our agenda and asking him to bless it, but where we bring ourselves as an empty pad for him to write on, and we say, God, what is it you want to speak to me? What's deep in your heart? What is it that you want to order over and into my life right now? And I am prepared and willing and able to go to work for that. So that's today's Monday Morning Leftovers. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to sharing with all of you again this Sunday, 10 o'clock at Perry Hall High School. God bless you.